Welcome to another production of Source Selection Soundbites. These productions foster learning, insight, and the ability to perform. Today's topic is an overview of the oral presentation. Today we will discuss the definition of oral presentations, the history of oral presentations in government contracting, and its intended use in federal contracting. An oral presentation is a method of communicating information verbally supported by images, visual aids, and/or technology. Use of oral presentations as a source selection technique allows the agency to collect information on a variety of topics that affect the source selection decision. Possible topics include things such as technical approach, key personnel, and transition plans. The injection of oral presentations as a source selection technique is one of the ways to improve communication between offerors and the government during the source selection process. This approach provides the acquisition team with greater flexibility in communicating with offerors and greater insight into the specifics of the contractor's approach, team composition, and understanding of the agency's requirement. Oral presentations were used before the Federal Acquisition Streamlining Act, or FASA, was enacted. Even then, it served as a useful tool to streamline evaluations and awards. For example, the Army used scoring of oral presentations as a part of the evaluation for recruiting, advertising, supplies, and services. The inclusion of oral presentations in the FAR 15 rewrite that would follow the passage of FASA was more a result of the growing trend in their use rather than being the result of an innovation. The GAO decided early on that oral presentations did not constitute discussions unless this was anticipated by the agency. The GAO decided that the mere fact that agencies have oral interactions with a vendor does not mean discussions are triggered. In Winkler Company decided in June of 1993, 2 years before FASA was passed, the GAO stated, "We find no requirement that the offerors be afforded the opportunity to submit revised proposals or best and final offers because of oral presentations so long as all offers received fair and equal treatment in regard to oral presentations." To reiterate, this decisions mean the GAO views oral presentations to be distinct from discussions. Another equally impactful case pertaining to oral presentations was the Labatt-Anderson case decided in April of 1992. It set some guardrails on what the agency needed to do in order to ensure vendors were treated fairly in that setting. First, the case set forth the requirement to tell industry whether the presentation itself would be scored. Second, it set forth the requirement to provide a guidance on the expected content of the proposals. This requirement allows vendors to compete more effectively and on a level playing field. When FASA was passed in 1994, one of the things the legislation focused on was streamlining FAR 15 procurements by injecting various substitutes for lengthy written technical and management plans. Oral presentations was one of those strategies. Oral presentations by offerors to the government may be used to substitute for or augment written information. Oral presentations may occur at any time in the acquisition process. In addition, oral presentations are subject to the same restrictions as written information regarding timing and content. The oral presentation is designed to do away with as much paperwork as possible, but some paperwork is still required. Certain things must be in writing as they prove that the contractor is responsible to perform the contract. In addition, the signed offer demonstrates that the offeror is bound by the terms of the resulting contract, and an express warranty sets forth the detail of a company's service level and obligation in terms of defective products. To wrap things up, let's review what we discussed. We discussed the definition of oral presentations. Second, we discussed the history of oral presentations. And third, the intended use of oral presentation in accordance with the Federal Acquisition Streamlining Act. Thank you for watching another episode of Source Selection Soundbites. For additional information, check out some of the other videos in this series, other Productivity Partners materials, or our Source Selection Answer app that is available on the Google Play Store and Apple Store. In any event, thanks for watching, and see you next time.